The next movie is about how to use ePubCrawler. We'll be using ePubCrawler without making any changes to its configuration. In practice, you will want to make changes to the configuration because the standard is a best effort, but it's not really what you want, and you will need to make ePubCrawler do something that's as close to your own workflow as possible. But for now, just to see how ePubCrawler works, we'll just be using it as it is downloaded. So I have this little test document. It's only 3 pages with a few things in it, like 2 images on the first page. This first page we'll be using as the cover page. So I just made 2 sizes of the same image just to see how that would go. And then if we look at page 2 and 3, you can see I have a picture of the moon, and the moon is actually cut in half by the spine. And I have some text in frames with different insets, so more and less inset, and some text that's actually threading from one frame to another. To run ePubCrawler on this and convert this into a fixed layout ePub, all we need to do is bring up the scripts palette, which is still under Window Utilities Scripts. So I click that, and then we go and find the ePubCrawler script, which is in our user ePubCrawler version number, and then the ePubCrawler.jsx bin file. And all you need to do is double click that file. So I just double click, tick, tick. So that's it. So ePubCrawler is now running. So there is no progress bar in these versions. So that will be in future versions. I'll actually have some progress indicator, but for now you just need to look at the cursor. And if I now switch to my desktop, so look at the name of the file. The file is called testfile.indd, and it's also sitting here, testfile.indd. And I have this folder called test file. So ePubCrawler created that folder. Now to prove you that that is actually true and that folder was not there before, I'll be running ePubCrawler a few more times. So all I do is I switch back to the InDesign document and I rerun ePubCrawler a second time. So tick tick, double click, and once it's done, I switch back to the Finder, and you see now I have 2 folders. One is called test file, the other one is called testfile_1. This is how ePubCrawler works. So each time you run it, it will create a new ePub folder, and that folder's name will be based on the name of the file, of the InDesign file, but it will append an underscore and a number if the folder were already to exist. So it will not overwrite an existing ePub folder, because you might already have been making manual changes to that folder that you might not want to lose. So to find the absolutely latest run of ePubCrawler, you just look at the highest number behind the folder name. So if I run it a third time, double click that, and then go back to the Finder. See, now I have a testfile_2, and so on and so on. Now, to see what ePubCrawler has been doing, we'll just dig into that ePub folder, and you see there are some XHTML files there. So these XHTML files have been created by ePubCrawler, and if you open them in a browser or a tool for editing HTML files, so I'll just double click them. Nah, that's not what I wanted. I want to open it in Safari. Open it with Safari. Then you get to see that this actually looks pretty much like the original InDesign layout. So I'll put the InDesign layout next to it. So pages, page 1. See, like the background, the web layout, in the foreground, the InDesign layout. So if I just open up page 2 with Safari, see, I get the moon cut in half. I get the text, the text with the inset, and so on. So the styling is different. That's a whole different can of beans, is how to do the styling. But if you look at the InDesign file, it's actually fairly accurate. See, like the moon being cut in half, and the text is all there. So ePubCrawler right out of the box does a fairly good job of converting your InDesign file to an ePub. Now, it's not an ePub yet, it's only an ePub folder. So to take the next step and actually make it into an ePub file, you can use that eCanCrusher tool that we installed in the first movie, and all I do is I just drag and drop the EPUB folder, in this case test file _2, and now I end up with a test file _2 EPUB, which is the EPUB that we just created.